Hey YouTube, it's Storm. So I have this really cute card here. It's a pop-up card that you can use for birthday cards or anniversary cards because you can put a lot of images. So when you open it up, it just pops right out. I didn't know what I wanted to put on the inside of here, so it's pretty much just for example purposes, but I think it's really cute. So it's easy to close up. You just take and kind of fold it in, and look how cute it is. So I want to just take and put this to the side and just show you. I already cut some pieces just to save some time. So this first image here is for the folding mechanism, and this one here is the base for the card, and this is cut at 4¼ by 11. And then I have these pieces here. These bigger pieces are cut at 4 inches by 3½, and that's for the outside. And then I have these smaller pieces here that are cut at 4 inches by 3½, and I'm going to put these on the inside of the card. So oh, and I almost forgot the piece for the images, and that's cut at 3½ by 9½. So I'm going to take and do that one last, and then I'm going to just put everything else to the side, and I'm going to grab my scoreboard, and then I'm going to get the base part of the card, and I'm going to score that at 5½. And then I'm going to turn it over just because I noticed that when I score it, I tend to break the, some of the edges when I score it and just fold it directly. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to just take and move the scoreboard out of the way, and I'm going to get started, and I'm just deciding like which ones do I want to start with first, and I don't want to start with this one. No, I'm actually going to put that one back. I'm going to start with the folding mechanism, and that's what helps the card pop out. So I'm going to take and fold this in half, and I'm going to use my bone folder, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get a good crease, because it helps the folding when you open and close the card. And then I'm going to take and fold it in half again, and again you'll notice I'm going to use my bone folder again, just to get a nice crease on there. And then when we were kids, we used to make little paper airplanes, so this is what this reminds me of. So you take and fold it into the center crease that you have there, and then fold that into that, as you can see, to face each other. And it should kind of even out if you fold it correctly. And again, I'm just creasing it real good. Again, you will notice that definitely helps the folding of the card itself. So I'm going to open it up and just pay attention to how I actually fold this in. It seems a little complicated, but it's not. I'm kind of tucking that center crease in on both sides. And then I'm going to press that in and crease that real good also, just to make sure that everything is laid down nice and neat. And that's what it should look like. So I'm going to take and put that to the side and get started on the images for the, not the images, but the panels for the inside of the card. So I am going to take and use my tape runner, and I cut these about 1/4 inch smaller so that I can get a little framing around the side. So I'm going to put that on and put that on the inside, and just be careful so that I can get that nice little framing around the side to make it look nice, neat, and clean. And then I'm going to do the other one. Turn that over, and again, just get it where it's a nice little framing around the side. It looks nice and neat and cute. So now I'm going to do the outside, and again I made these about 1/4 inch smaller so that I can have that cute little framing around the whole entire thing. And I'm using the other side pattern just to give it a slightly different look. I still wanted to stay with the same color, but just give it a different look. And then I'm doing the front and the back. And just going to make sure that I put that on nice and neat to still have that little like matting around it. Alright, I think that turned out really cute. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to fold this in half, and this is for the images. I'm going to fold that in half, and of course use my bone folder to crease that out. And then because I'm going to put 4 panels on here, I'm going to fold that back just so it can kind of have a flip-flop type fold. I know that's not what it's called, but it's going to have like kind of a valley type fold, back and forth fold, and creasing these real good. Alright, and again just making sure, and then this is what it should look like when you're done, which is really easy. Alright, so I'm going to take and put that aside for right now, and then I am going to start on the folding mechanism. Oh, and this is actually what it looked like. I was trying to save some time, and I cut out the grass with my favorite things, or lawn fawn, sorry, grass, but I stamped the images in there, but I was trying to just save some time so that the video wasn't going to be too long. So I have my glue, and I'm going to take and put the folding mechanism inside. So I'm going to pull out my ruler. I'm going to measure the center of this card. So I'm going to take and use a pencil and just measure exactly where the center of this is. And because I'm going to cover it, I'm not so much worried about the marking that I'm going to make with the pencil. Because again, when I glue that down, it's going to cover that part up anyway. So I'm going to take and mark that. Alrighty, and then I'm going to take my piece, and again, you can use wet glue or you can use the tape runner. I like the wet glue because I have kind of more time to work with it, just in case I don't lay it down correctly. So it just gives, it just makes me more comfortable with being able to use the glue. So I'm going to take and put that on there all the way around on the corners. And then I just find it easier to lay it in there with the glue faced up so that I can kind of see exactly where I'm laying it. And then I'm going to pull the top down right on it. That just seems the easiest way to do it, so it's not like moving around. And then I'm just going to press that down really good just to make sure that it's sealed on there really good. Because with this kind of card, it's going to move a lot, so I definitely want to make sure that it's on there. Alright, which it looks like it is pretty good. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to put the glue, all the way around. Make sure I don't go over. And you don't want to put too much where it'll spill out, because then it now will get on the other part of the folding of the inner part. So I'm going to take and put that down, and then I'm going to give it a good press down to make sure that it's on there really good. And I really like this printing. I really do. I think it's really cute. And I use some of that same print to put on the top of the folding of the images, because I think that just brings it out a little bit more. So look at that. Perfect. Really cute. Alright, and it wasn't hard to do. So I think this is a really cute and easy card to make. So now I am going to put the images inside there. So now what I need to do is to just figure out where to lay it. Now what I do is I use my pencil, I kind of match up the edges, and what you want to do is you only want to put glue on the bottom half of that right side. Again, with the folding mechanism, you don't want to glue that whole side down. You only want to just use the bottom half. So I'm just kind of marking it just, oh, I'm sorry, the top half. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about the other side. So you're going to put it at the top half, and I'm marking it just so that it'll, it makes it a little bit easier. And then for, uh, tutorial purposes, just so that you can see where I'm going to put the glue at. And then on the left side, I'm going to put it on the bottom half. And again, I'm just marking that side just so that there's no mistaking as to where the glue needs to go. And again, you can use the tape runner for this. I use the glue because I feel like it's a little more, stable, and, it seems to stick a little bit better. And then it just gives me, room to work with just in case I don't lay it down in the right spot. So I'm just gluing it down. I'm going to put it on both sides. Alright, and then I'm going to take and do one side at a time and make sure I match up those corners so that when you go to fold, none of that'll show. And slide it over. And you see how I had just a little spot now with the tape runner. Sometimes you don't have, time to move it. So that's why I like to use the glue, so that if I see anything sticking out or slide, I have time to move it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to match up the corners and give it a good press down. And see how quick this card came together? I think it's a really cute card. And like I said, you can put pictures in it. You can do stamped images, is what I did, and just colored it. You can do just about, just about anything. Personal pictures you can put inside of it, Mod Podge it down. You can do a lot with it. Again, I just think it's really cute, and I love this card. So I just pressed it down, just showing you that the upper part of the left side is, not glued down, and then the lower part of the right side, same thing. Now, because this is still a little wet, I'm trying to be careful with how I am closing this, because I don't want to mess it up. Now again, for tutorial purposes, I wanted to close it up just so that you can see, but I wouldn't suggest that as soon as you make the card that you fold it back down until it dries a little bit. It doesn't take long, but I am just trying to be really careful with how I'm closing it. And then I'm just pressing it down real good, just to make sure. And then I just want to, just take a, press it down real good, and just make sure that that glue is in there really good. And again, I think this is so cute, and look at that. Look how cute that is. That turned out really nice. And then again, I just want to try to close it up, but just take my time with closing it. So what I have is a image that I'm going to put, not an image, but a sentiment I want to put on the front of the card that I've already stamped and dry embossed or heat embossed it. It's a Happy Easter. So I'm just going to take and put some glue on there. I was thinking about putting foam tape on the back, but I think it has so much dimension to the card itself that that would just be a little too much. So I'm just going to take and add this to the front of the card. Make sure I line it up. And look how simple that was. I didn't want to do any over embellishing of the card, again, for tutorial purposes, but I think it's really cute, really simple, and, and look at that. Look how pretty that is. So I do appreciate, you guys watching. I hope that, you'll try it and you'll come back and check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.